Oh, it's too early, I can't snap. So we ended up getting to the airport 2 hours, well 3 hours early, but now we're just waiting at our gate for 2 hours, which is good for me because I had homework that I needed to get done that was due at midnight Arizona time, and we're 10 hours ahead. So that means that gives me till 10 a.m. and it's like 5:30, so I'm gonna have all of it done, thank goodness, and then I can just chill, and we board at 6:50, so nice. The plane is full. Huh? Please store your extra baggage.
Guten Morgen, liebe Gäste im Namen der Kabine Noten. Mein Name ist Markus Lappert, ich bin der Pastor der Bord und zusammen mit meinen Kollegen wünsche ich Ihnen einen angenehmen Aufenthalt bei uns.
Check out my pretzel. It's like egg, cheese, and a pretzel. I wish it was McDonald's or Chick-fil-A. We have walked the whole entire LAX airport at this point, and we have a 5-hour layover, so that's fantastic, and I'm hungry.
Yes. Why would you tip when you don't have sodas?
No
Bad luck. It does happen.
Now I need to go get my cat. Hello, I'm home. Thank goodness I fully unpacked, showered. It's like 1:45 in the morning. My internal clock is definitely messed up, especially after sleeping all today. And the lady in front of me on the 14-hour flight from Germany to LA put her seat all the way back 3 hours into the flight, and I was like, okay, so this is gonna be the deal. It was honestly fine because I slept the majority of the time, but then when I actually did want to like have my tray, I was like, this thing is literally in my face, but whatever. Traveling today felt so much longer than it did the first time, like getting there. I made it though. It's okay. I just have to reset my sleep schedule. I'm debating whether or not I want to like pull an all-nighter, because that'll fix it, because we were 10 hours ahead, which means right now it's basically like 12. It's noon there, so I would be awake. And like I said, I slept all day, so I kind of just like kept the same schedule. Yeah, my little cup that I bought the handle broke in my suitcase. And my ears still haven't unpopped. The daily stoic that I have for March is value time more than money and possessions. And a big thing going into this trip is I really wanted to make sure that I was enjoying my time and absorbing all the time that I was there, which can sometimes be hard, especially because me and my sisters just like go at it all the time. We have this thing where if there's two of us, we're fine, but if it's all three of us, like two of us end up ganging up on one of the other people, and so it was just like that the whole trip. Not the whole trip, but there was definitely like multiple occasions where that was happening, and that always gets frustrating. So by the end of the trip, we are ready to go home. But other than that, I had a really good time. Like definitely a 10 out of 10 experience overall. I've just kind of been thinking about it like all day. Something that I do after trips is I kind of just have to process that I even went on the trip like a few days after. And a conversation I had with my younger sister Sophia during one of the days was I just felt like I was living the moment, but I was like watching it as a memory already. Like I wasn't able to fully be in the moment because I was trying to soak it up so much, and she was relating to me on that, so that was good to like hear someone relating to me on it. Not necessarily with this trip, like she wasn't having the same thing, but with other things she's had that. And after I had that conversation, it was a little bit easier for me to kind of more so live in the moment, to be honest, because part of it for me is I am really happy that I vlogged this because to be honest, I started editing the 5th day today, and so I'm like way behind, but as I'm watching it back, I'm like able to kind of like relive the moments. And I didn't vlog everything, and something I kind of noticed is like further into the trip I didn't vlog as much. I just like noticed that. I think it was one of those things where I was in the trip like so much, like so far into it, where I was just like living the trip. And that kind of happens on tours where it's like you start kind of just going through the motions because you're on a schedule of like you need to be either like packed or ready to go at a certain time, and it keeps it very go go go. And so I started to kind of just like be in the rhythm of it, and now for the next few days I'm gonna be like decompressing from it. It still hasn't even like settled in that I am like home, even though I'm fully unpacked and everything. It's just like I feel like tomorrow morning I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna still like be in the same schedule, which is gonna be hard because I have class in the morning actually, but not till 10:30, so at least it's a little bit later. But as far as like the possessions and like money thing goes, I didn't like get a lot of things on this trip, and if I did, it was like small things, and honestly I didn't buy it for myself. It's my dad got it for me, so I didn't spend any of my own money. But also the possessions that I decided to like get were little things that were of importance to me. Like I got myself a ring, or my dad got it for me, but one of the things that I ended up choosing to like get or take or have or whatever is my ring, which I got this one in New Zealand on my last trip with my family, so that was like cool to have. And I got one in Egypt too, but that one I lost in the snow in Flagstaff, so if you find it, let me know. And then this one I got in California when I went to go see my friend Zoe play soccer with my friend Morgan. That was such a fun trip. But then one of the other things I decided to get was Turkish coffee. I already showed you guys, but I just got like freshly ground Turkish coffee. I know that there's a different way that you're supposed to brew it, so I need to look it up before I try and do that. And then, so I got this cold brew, if you remember, at the beginning of the trip. And if you remember the one hotel that we stayed at that was on the waterfront and it had that rocky beach. Me and my sisters went back and we collected a bunch of pebbles from that beach and filled the cold brew jar with it. So I think that's really cool because all the rocks were just like unique and different. And I was like, you know what? I should bring the jar down tomorrow and then we can go pick out rocks. Maybe I'll insert the picture of us because my dad was taking pictures. The other thing I got is my cup. It's in my kitchen right now because I'm gonna super glue the handle back on. I'm not giving up on it. I think my favorite, it's hard to choose kind of like a favorite thing because a lot of the things we saw were a different experience, but thinking about it, I think Cappadocia was probably my favorite like place. All of like the rock formations, or they weren't even rocks. It was actually, I think I described it wrong in the video because I was just like, I didn't even fully understand like what it was. But then we kept seeing it over and over again. And my dad kept saying like, oh my gosh, it's like mounds of ash. It's not magma, it's the ash from the volcano. And it just hardened over time. It's almost like sandstone, so it's easy to like carve into. So people made houses inside of them. And then the government was like, it's not safe to live in there. Now you can just like see it. There's actually hotels that are built into them, so you can go stay there, which would be so cool. Like, I definitely would go back to Cappadocia and stay in one of the hotels and do the hot air balloon ride again, because the hot air balloon ride was definitely like, I've never done anything like that, and I've always wanted to do a hot air balloon ride, so it was just like, wow. And just the scenery, like that's the place to freaking do it if you're gonna do it for the first time. And so that was super cool. That was super cool. And my tour group, just like overall, there was times that they would annoy me a little bit, but I kind of like at the end appreciated everyone in like their own way. Half the group was a family. It was so cute. Like the grandmas, the abuelas, they would all just like hype me up every day, like all of us, all me and my sisters. And Acacia, they all spoke Spanish. They were all from Guatemala originally and then moved to Houston. My sister, she speaks Spanish, so she was talking Spanish or speaking Spanish with them the whole time, and they were trying to teach me Spanish like throughout the trip, like a few words, and I like don't really remember. I don't really remember, I'm not gonna lie. But it was cute, and our tour guide was amazing, Miriam. She was amazing, did a great job. A big part of it being like a good experience and a good tour is the tour guide, because if it's not a good tour guide, which typically like me and my family have done 6 tours and we've only had one bad tour guide experience, and it really does like impact the trip. So we were so blessed to be able to have a good tour guide. And just overall, like, I would definitely go back to Turkey. Like, for sure, I would go back to Turkey. Every country that I've been to, it's pretty in its own way. Like, the landscape is different, or there's some similarities, but the buildings, the architecture, the way that things are set up, just the way things are built in and around one another, and the different aspects of history that are also there. Like, it was so interesting in Turkey that there would just be like a ruin, like in the middle of Istanbul. There would just be a ruin, and it's like, that's crazy that it's just there and people just built around it, because a lot of places have been around for so long. Like, the US is so young compared to other countries, and so just to see that, and especially with Turkey, you were able to like walk around and like really be in it and experience it, which is not common these days, because a lot of places are like, oh, keep off, like we don't want you that close or whatever. In Turkey, I feel like we got to really like walk up and be personal in like the ruins and stuff like that, especially in Pamukkale, which is where like it was almost like a glacier looking structure, which it's carbon dioxide or carbon dioxide, bicarbonate from the water over hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, just like building up over that. But if the water's not running, it turns like dark, like grayish. But if the water's going over it, it just keeps building up the layers, and that's why it's white. But it's all hot springs, so like the water's warm. That was so cool. That was also very cool. I would go back there, although I would stay at a different hotel because that hotel was like, I mean, it was fine. It just like definitely felt like a touristy hotel. I would rather stay in a smaller hotel. I think that one was my least favorite out of all of them. It just like, you could tell it was one of those where it wanted to look put together on the outside, but it was really not that put together. But yeah, value time more than money and possessions. I will say this, money is good to put into things, specifically with experiences. Like, I am willing to put money, doesn't matter the price tag, into an experience, travel, or just like going and doing something. I'm way more willing to do that over putting it into a thing or an item. I can justify it a lot more, and it's because I can actually like, I'm like living when I'm doing it. I mean, with some things like material things or just like physical things, they bring me joy, but not in the same way of an experience, if you know what I'm saying. But anyways, if you like stuck around for this whole thing, this whole travel experience, thanks, I guess. But if you ever get the chance to go to Turkey, for sure go. And if you watch these videos, maybe you can get some ideas for where to stop. But I'll see you in the next one. I'm not sure what it's gonna be, but I kind of want to do like an arts and crafts video, or like something along the lines of that sort of creativity. Maybe let me know in the comments. But yeah, bye.